Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm checking in from home. It's an unseasonably warm evening here in Cleveland, even though it's still cold, but it's just warmer than normal for a winter evening, and I'm getting in some beers. What I have for you today is something interesting I found, I believe, at Rozi's Wine House. Pretty sure it's why I found this. And this is the Brasserie de la Senne Bret Porter. Now, this is out of Brussels, Belgium, and I've never heard of a Bret Porter before. I assume that's brewed with Brettanomyces, so it's going to be like kind of a sour porter, I would think. I don't know. But I'd never heard of this before, heard of this style before, so I had to check it out. Now, on the bottle, it says, imported by Lime Ventures, Concord, California. It's 5.7% alcohol. What else does it say here? Beer in a bunch of different languages. Unfiltered. Wow. I did not expect this. Unfiltered blonde craft beer. Re-fermented in the bottle. Pour without the sediment. It can be drunk separately. Store in a cold and dark place. I don't know if I want to drink the sediment. I don't know if I have a clean glass to drink the sediment. Didn't even realize that. And there's a date on here, but I can't really read the date. It's kind of blurred and the label's a little damaged. But this says Bret Porter. On the side here, it says blonde. So I don't know whether this is actually a porter or a blonde. That's kind of weird. There was a blurb on Untappd, and I had to use Google Translate to translate it. So I've got a picture of the translation on my tablet. I think it was one of my friends, made a comment the last time I used a tablet that I was too old for technology. I just want to say this tablet here is an Asus tablet I bought in like 2014, 2015. Way too old to be still using it, so I do the best I can with it because I'm just too cheap to go buy a new tablet just to have beer reviews. So it's not me, it's this damn tablet. But that's just a little side note. Let's get into the description here. This says, Bret Porter is inspired by the old London porters, superstar beers of the 1800s, which were preserved in huge wooden tuns in which Brettanomyces yeasts developed. It was not barreled, but co-fermented with our house Brettanomyces and brewed from magnificent special English malts. Its dress is black with a ruby tint. Its foam, dark beige, is fine and persistent. The Brettanomyces are very present on the nose, giving it a vinous character with very ripe cherries like an old Kirsch and a little leather. Wow, if this is like an old Kirsch, this is going to be phenomenal. A roasted and slightly smoked touch completes the picture. These aromas are found on the palate, added with notes of mocha, cocoa powder, and prunes. I'm not old enough to eat prunes yet. I don't eat prunes. I'm vaguely aware of what they taste like, but that's some real old people stuff. I guess when you get in retirement age, you start drinking prunes. I don't know. I don't touch prunes. That's another tangent. But let's get into the beer. Like I said, this brewery here is Brasserie de la Senne, and I believe a beer day with TK and I reviewed a beer from them in the past on his channel. And if that's true, and I can find that review, I'll post it in the description down below. Because I think it was a beer called American Piss, where the brewer was taking a piss about American beers. And if that's the case, if I remember correctly, I will definitely post that down in the description below so you can check out that review. Oh, and it's going to overflow already. Very active. I was going to show you the crown, but that became very active. On Untappd, it gets a 3.56 with 1.4 thousand check-ins. Didn't find anything on Beer Advocate. And I'm making a mess again. It's not a beer review if I don't make a mess. Get my dirty towel. One of these days I need to wash it. Or throw it away. It was free. But on the crown here, it looks like, I believe it's the cityscape of Brussels. Try to remember to post a picture of that up there. Not really getting anything on the nose. I mean, there's a little bit of something. And it's not earthy. I almost want to say cinnamon, but it's not cinnamon. It's kind of a very subtle, not spice, but not earthiness, like somewhere in between. And I do get a little hint of that, like sourness. Sticking my big old beak in there. Maybe a hint of cocoa. But the nose just really isn't pronounced. As far as color, that looks black. But I think I need to shine my flashlight on it. That's more of a brownish color. I don't know if you can see that very well. I mean, in the light, it's more of a brownish color, but that's pretty dark. I mean, you're getting around maybe the 29 on the SRM chart. A lot of carbonation in there. And that head is just khaki head, very fine bubbled. It's not growing, but it's not dissipating either. Maybe it's like an earthy cacao or earthy coca flavor, scent. Almost dipped my beak in there, so that means it's time to drink it. Cheers, everybody. That is not at all what I expected from this beer. There's some carbonation up front and a little bit of carbonation on the back end. It's probably on the right around medium body. But the body's kind of deceiving. Might be a lighter body, but that carbonation kind of expands the body a little bit. Makes it feel more of a medium body. But it's not, the carbonation isn't offensive or isn't oppressive like some beers I've had. But the flavors. I expected this to be kind of like a sour porter, if that made sense. And that's not what this is at all. This is almost like a Rausch beer. It's got like some smoky character to it. And some like earthy cocoa or cacao notes to it. It's very light on the finish. That is not at all what I expected from this beer. I really expected a Bret Porter to be some sort of crazy sour porter, like a sour stout kind of deal. And that's not at all. This is really like a Rausch beer, but the smoke, the char is very subtle. I mean, it's there, but it's not overpowering. It's not like some of those smoked beers, those Rausch beers you get that taste like you're drinking liquid smoke, or you just filtered it through a campfire. But this has some like nice smoky char to it, and you get some of those nice like chocolatey porter flavor, and the carbonation is there. I mean, like again, in the past, if you've seen some of my videos, I've had some beers that were just way overcarbonated, and it was oppressive, and it ruined a beer, and I was not happy with it. This, you get some nice carbonation in the mouth, nice carbonation in the swallow, but it's additive. I feel like it opens up the flavors more. This is a really good beer. I'm surprised. This is not at all what I expected it to be. It's a really good beer. Give this a huge horns up. Wish I had a clean glass to pour the sediment into. I do have a clean glass, but I'm not going to use it for this because it might turn off some viewers. So we'll just leave it at that. And I'll say again, embrace the adventure.